One of the newest flagship Elder Dragons to have ever graced the Sunbreak and the Elder Dragon lore, Malzeno is actually one of the most simple to understand Elder Dragons. It's not an evil creature. It's not even a remotely hostile creature towards humans. It's actually a balanced Elder Dragon. But why do I say that? Let's find out here. Now, balanced Elder Dragons are something a little more differently. I kind of gave a glimpse on balanced Elder Dragons when I kind of explained how Nemiel could have been an Elder Dragon lured to the Coral Highlands as a fundamental force, okay? So this is actually something a bit differently. It's kind of in the same category as nergigante. But let's really talk about why Malzeno feeds on blood, specifically the blood of certain monsters. Malzeno may actually feed on creatures such as Espinas and even the likes of Luna Garen and Garen Golem because they have high amounts of bioenergy. This isn't really something on the lines of, oh, well, this monster is just in a different bracket than another monster. No, it's not. It's not like that. Malzeno seems to be feeding on these monsters and gathering as much strength as he can for the Kuros to actually become stronger. Now let's run down the list of monsters it would actually be targeting realistically for this event I'm about to say here. Espinas is one of the few monsters that you actually think of when it comes to high levels of bioenergy. It's an Elder Dragon level monster. This means it has high levels of bioenergy, high levels of, well, if you really want to get into it, high levels of protein that any monster or any Elder Dragon looking for high amounts of bioenergy would basically need here. So basically, Espinas is essentially a battery like the rest of these monsters here. And it really just fits the bill. Think about it. It's an Elder Dragon level monster, right? It's a monster that, has a high amount of bioenergy. And it's one of the very few that excuse me, that Malzeno would be able to pretty much take down easily without the Kuros. The Kuros actually seem to be like a minor thing, and it actually may lure monsters that they find with their own high levels of bioenergy towards Malzeno. This then just pretty much puts them in the same bracket or in the same playing field as Malzeno. Garen Golem is another monster that also fits the caliber. I mean, it's literally been confirmed that this is an Elder Dragon level monster. It just has the worst end of the deal, like ever. It literally has that, the worst end of the deal when it comes to Sunbreak. All right, it gets clowned in his match with excuse me, with Luna Garen because it lacks the speed and mobility, but yet it manages to somehow clown other monsters that aren't even remotely close, and it doesn't have any other turf wars that are needed to actually justify its strength here. But it does have a bit of lore, so that kind of justifies it. Luna Garen, again, do I need to say more? This is a monster that can get hits off on an Elder Dragon, and a monster that could literally flip a Zen Ogre. This man can literally body slam and flip a Zen Ogre. I mean, Jesus Christ, that thing is broken. Okay? Crazy broken. Alright? I would love to see this thing fight Odogaron in an Ebony Odogaron, because it'd be a fun matchup in my opinion. I really do think it'd be a fun matchup. But yeah, let me not sidetrack real quick. Luna Garen obviously has its turf war with Malzeno, where it absolutely gets clowned on. I also made my Luna Garen video that Malzeno is actually its only predator. Gorn Magala and Shugar Magala, Magnum Mallow, the Furious Rajang, okay? These monsters all have high levels of bioenergy. Alright? This level of bioenergy is something that you cannot ignore. You cannot just say, oh, well, they have it, so that means Malzeno is going for it. No. Having high levels of bioenergy is vastly different than having Elder Dragon levels of energy, okay? It's very different. And these monsters, all these monsters I just named, are not only Elder Dragon level, but have a high amount of bioenergy similar to that of Elder Dragon. It's very possible, considering the fact that Elder Dragons really do have good senses enough to stay away from each other and to detect each other, that the likes of Malzeno, is not really going to come into contact very much with the likes of, Kushala Daora, Teostra, and Valstrax. This is where the Kyros come in. The Kyros not only have the scent of blood on them, which could lure in other monsters that have high levels of bioenergy, but are also capable of stealing blood and giving it to Malzeno. But why does Malzeno need his blood? What does it do with this, this excess power or whatever? Well, it becomes its second form. Now, I don't really remember what this form is called, and with Sunbreak coming out soon on the, on console for players everywhere, I'm pretty sure I will be able to see this, sometime in the near future. But let's really just say this is Malzeno's second form. Let's just call it second form Malzeno or final form Malzeno. Let's call it final form, because that's what it is here. This final form may actually be in the same bracket as monsters like Nergigante. And it may have to do with Geismagorn. Because if you guys actually never knew this, Geismagorn and Malzeno actually have an ecological rivalry with each other. And this may actually prove that Malzeno is trying to keep Geismagorn from coming back and destroying and eating everything. This means that for maybe thousands of years, because Elder Dragons do have that kind of life expectancy, and they live for years upon years on end, that Malzeno has been battling against Geismagorn non-stop. Has been relentlessly trying to collect as much bioenergy as it can so that it can prepare itself for Geismagorn. And when Geismagorn rises up, he'll be there. And this may actually give us more enlightenment to how Nergigante works as well. Nergigante hunts chaotic Elder Dragons. It'll hunt the others as food, but it hunts the ones of this, juvenile black dragon or these world ender Elder Dragons. It hunts these guys down. It makes sure that these guys cannot harm anybody. It makes sure these guys can't even, remotely get up at all. These guys can't rise and be able to destroy the entire world. And this also fits in with Cadeus as well, as he's meant to actually predate and actually keep Nakarkos in check. Okay? Nakarkos itself is a world ender Elder Dragon. Okay? It's able to consume and straight up just destroy environments like it's nothing, So you have an Elder Dragon, these Elder Dragons that are just bent on destroying the world, just consuming and destroying everything. But you have these other Elder Dragons that can stop them. And this is why I believe Nemiel is also in that category. Like I said in my Nemiel video, he may be a permanent resident because he balances out the power and destruction that a Savage Devil Joe can cause in the Coral Highlands. So this means that these Elder Dragons actually do serve these functional purposes. You have a group that's, your wild animal category, like your Kushala Daora, your Teostra, your Lunastras, okay? Your Kirins, okay? Then you have your balanced ones, your Nergigante, your Namiels, your Black Veil Valhazak, okay? Then you have your destroyers, okay? Cadeus as well as Balance and Malzeno as well. And then you have your destroyers like Velkhana. You have Geismagorn, Xenojiva, Sapphire Jiva, what's his name? Sherry Ish Valda. Okay, these guys that are just threats to the entire world. Now you might say, okay, Legendary, what do you think about Dalmador? I would say Dalmador fits into kind of the nature aspect of Elder Dragons. It's a fundamental force, in my opinion. But this also gives us more indication about, Malzeno in general. Malzeno is an Elder Dragon that keeps, Kamura safe and keeps every village safe. Pretty much keeps the world safe from Geismagorn. It's very possible that thousands of years ago, or in ancient or prehistoric times, Geismagorn was a actual threat to the world, only being kept in check by a couple Elder Dragons. Maybe Nergigante and Malzeno have taken one down before. Maybe Nergigante has met this monster before. Because you have to remember, some of these Elder Dragons do come from the old world and have just never been spotted. Maybe this is what these other Elder Dragons do. Maybe there is this group of Elder Dragons that just kind of keep this balance here. And it's very possible that when Malzeno is at full power is by the time where a Geismagorn may actually have its own Kyros, give it its full strength, and the two fighting each other results in this titanic battle that would basically result in Malzeno high or extreme diff defeating Geismagorn with its intelligence, skill, speed, agility. You guys get the point, right? Its hexes, its abilities, and maybe even draining some of Geismagorn's strength to add to his own and winding up beating it. And this is probably why Malzeno does take a liking to actually eating or pretty much consuming other monsters. It's not out of malice, it's not out of actually hunger, it's out of necessity. It's out of that need to actually protect its environment, out of that need to actually restore its environment or restore its, restore balance. Okay, give nature, or basically give these other creatures a fighting chance that they wouldn't have without him. It's very possible these risen Elder Dragons could potentially take on a Geismagorn, but Malzeno seems to be more of a built deterrent, an Elder Dragon to counter an Elder Dragon. Just as Nergigante is made to counter all these other Elder Dragons as their apex predator, Malzeno is meant to counter Geismagorn as its rival. Okay? But, yeah, at the end of the day, why do I think, Malzeno is the way it is? I have to say it's because it's meant to actually be this Elder Dragon that balances out and even counters excuse me, and even counters counters Geismagorn in every single way possible. It's meant to counter the apocalypse. But anyway, that's going to be all for today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. Let me know what kind of ecology videos you guys want to see for Wave 5 when that comes around, because I'll give you guys the same number as I did before. Peace.